trade. Not more than once or twice a week. I've never traded simulated accounts. I really don't believe in them. To trade simulated accounts, you lose so much of the trading experience that when you try to go to a live money account, you normally, it's such a new experience that you're normally not functional. If you trade a paper trading or simulated trading, you need to introduce risk to that trading. Actually, there's two things you need to do. If you're going to start out in the market with $5,000, don't get a simulated account for 100 grand. Get a simulated account for $5,000. If you're going to start out with 50 grand, get a simulated account for 50 grand. Don't make it unrealistic, make it realistic. You need to introduce risk. And by that, I mean that if you lose money, there has to be a penalty. Like, for example, let's say you don't like cold showers. Well, for every $100 that you lose in the markets, you need to have an oven timer and set it for 1 minute and go in there and take a cold shower at the end of the week. That represents the number of hundreds of dollars that you've lost. This actually introduces risk to your trading. If you don't like cold showers, you have to take a cold shower. If you don't take the cold shower and you have told yourself you would, then what you're doing is cheating, and cheats don't make it in this market. I know, Madoff, etc., but he's in prison. One of my clients hated prunes, so for every $500 that he lost in the market, he had to eat a prune. You don't want to do something that's really going to hurt yourself, but obviously when you introduce risk, you make it real. Without risk, a simulated account is pure BS. It's of no value. I have 3 trading plans, and they are all written out. I don't need to have them posted here at my trading table in order to use them, because I know them by heart. I mean, I know them perfectly. And I know which one I'm using whenever I enter a trade. And a trading plan is nothing more than an organized series of steps to reach a goal. Let's say, for example, you want to get out in the morning and go to work. You got a plan. You get up, you shave, you shower, you have a cup of coffee, find your keys, get dressed, find your keys, go outside, and get in your car, and you're off. It is a trading plan. It is a get up and get out plan. And it is a series of steps. You don't necessarily need to think about each one of those steps. After you've done it, a dozen times or so, then you're in pretty good shape. But just imagine a situation where you didn't have a plan, and you're in your car, and you're at the steering wheel, and everything's all set, but the keys are back in the house, and you're saying to yourself, my God, this isn't working, you start pounding on the steering wheel. Well, you didn't follow your plan. Same thing in trading. You really need an organized plan. And the most important thing is that when you have an organized plan, that you follow that plan. You cannot make a mistake in trading as long as you follow the plan. Losing money is part of trading. That isn't a mistake. Following the plan, the ability to follow the plan, stick with the plan, is your signal about whether or not you're trading well, not profits or losses. Because if you have a good plan, you're going to make money. You definitely will make money over time. But if you can't follow the plan, I don't care how much money you start making, you're never going to keep it. Never. I made my first trade when I was 15 years old, a company named Hitco. So before that, I was doing model trains in the basement of the house, building model train sets, line-out trains. And after my Hitco experience, which was mildly profitable, I ended up going to college, and I started seriously trading in 1967 when I got out of school. Very seriously trading. I've been trading stock index futures since 1982. That's when the S&P Futures Index came out in America. Before that, I was trading the value line. The value line came out a couple of months before that, and I traded that when it came out. So I've been trading it continuously since they were offered in America. And I love the market. I love to trade the market. It's a money machine if you know how to approach it correctly. My trading style is to use leading indicators. I get out in front of the market, I determine where support and resistance is, and play accordingly. But I get these numbers ahead of time. I don't get them after the fact. That's what's key. I also have trend indicators which can precede the market, get out in front of the market. That's called the MACD predictor, and I have an oscillator. To the uneducated eye, it looks sort of like a Bollinger Band. It's a volatility oscillator, but it too gets out in front of the market. In 1982, I developed this thing called the oscillator predictor, and that's the volatility band, but it's in front of the market. Everything I do is in front of the market, because I want to know what I should be doing tomorrow or in the next 5 minutes, not what I should have done a day ago or a week ago. The DiNapoli level techniques are the techniques that give me my major support and resistance levels. And I trade accordingly. The main change over the last couple of years is with this MACD predictor. When I first started using it, I had no idea of its value. It was valuable then when I first started to use it because it gave me trend change ahead of time. But there are ways I've been using it in the last several years that have allowed me to basically stop using stop-loss orders, at least have only disaster stops, which are almost never hit. And by watching what's called dynamic pressure on the MACD predictor, I can determine whether or not I'm right in any given trade. It is pretty amazing. To control the downside, I use the MACD predictor and good money management. Good money management. I know all the time whether the trade I am in is a good trade or not a good trade. If it's a good trade, I'm willing to stay with it and take some pressure. If it is not a good trade, I look for a way out and I get out and I'll play. Most people can't or don't have the tools to determine whether the trade that they're in is truly good or not. So they just put a stop loss in there and hope it doesn't get hit. Hope is a four-letter word. My edge in the market is that I know myself. I have a trading approach which fits my personality, and I use it. Back about 1985, I got involved with Fibonacci studies, and at the time, I really didn't want to study Fibonacci work. I thought it would just be one more useless path I'd go down and put months of study into and would yield no beneficial results. But that was wrong. A friend showed me some of the very basics of advanced Fibonacci analysis. I then took my engineering background, applied that background to these levels, created a whole set of rules, DiNapoli levels, which is a subset of Fibonacci work, and then my trading really started to change, for the better.